Both the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the HTC One are blockbuster phones in every sense. Both with giant crystal clear screens, 4G speeds, top spec cameras and blazing processor speeds, they both have a lot to live up to and can leave a lot of people scratching their heads trying to decide which to choose. Well, to help you out, we're going to run down the best of both phones. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is a tech fiend's dream phone. While it may lack the metal body and design and panache of the HTC One, it makes up for its shortcomings with a removable battery and an external memory card, potentially giving you up to 96GB of storage to play with, along with 50GB of free cloud storage on Dropbox. It's also rock solid and feels like it can take a tumble or two, though we've seen a few shattered Galaxy S3 screens in our time. While the HTC One may look different to its predecessors, it's not to be confused with last year's One X or One S. This is a metal beauty running on Android 4.1 Jelly Bean and toting a full HD screen as well as an all-new type mobile camera. HTC's designers have excelled themselves again this year. The HTC One is gorgeous, a lovingly crafted metal slab almost identical in size to its predecessor. It's cool to the touch, rock solid, and is beautifully smooth since the camera doesn't jut out this time. And Android 4.1 itself is blazingly fast, courtesy of a quad-core 1.7 GHz processor, and the HTC One chewed through all the latest games we played. The ultra-pixel camera though is HTC's attempt to try something completely different. It's a mere 4 megapixel sensor compared to that of the Xperia Z13. But there's a twist. All the pixels collecting light inside are much bigger than ever before. The result is an incredibly fast shutter speed with lots of detail in the images, even in low light situations where most camera phones fail miserably. But the S4 is also a spec fan's friend. It's a monstrous beast that blazes along on its quad-core chip, chomping through the latest 3D games with ease. As ever, with Samsung's Super AMOLED panels, the colours are saturated to the point of silliness. But the 1920 by 1080 Full HD display is pin sharp and so vibrant it's hard to take your eyes off it. Accurate it may not be, but we love it nonetheless. The 13 megapixel snapper is also superb, grabbing crisp images with low noise. It might not be able to compete with Nokia's upcoming Lumia 925 PureView snapper, but it's a solid offering nonetheless. But the option to shoot HD video at the same time is a welcome one. And thankfully we found the much beefier 2600 mAh battery keeps up with all the extra demands. It's nothing special, but we managed to get through the best part of a day while snacking on video and constantly checking out apps, unlike the HTC's 2300 mAh battery, which did need a charge through the day to keep it afloat. One negative though that you can't say about the HTC that you can draw from the S4 is that it's a tad dull with no design changes. But you could certainly argue that that's not a bad thing, because come on, why fix what ain't broke? And some of Samsung's software editions are not particularly hot. The S Translator does exactly the same job as Google's Translate Android app, and S Voice isn't as nearly as fast or as useful as Google Now. Some are substantially worse than alternatives like Samsung's own web browser, which looks cumbersome next to Chrome. And some are nothing more than party tricks. Sure, you can wave your hand over the screen to wake up your phone, but it's far quicker to press the lock button. And sadly, we're also not sure on HTC's software improvements on Google's own work. The HTC One sports the company's Sense 5 user interface, and it's a big break from what came before. The standard home screen for apps and widgets is to the side, and instead you get what HTC is calling Blink Feed, a steady image-heavy stream of news that you can tailor from lots of different websites in every conceivable category. You'll find HTC's own browser and keyboard on board by default, neither of which are very good though. You do well to switch to Google Chrome and a keyboard like SwiftKey straight away. But as cool as the HTC One looks, there are a few design flaws the creators should be kicking themselves over. HTC's decision to remove one of the standard control buttons to make way for its logo below the screen is an odd one that'll surprise long-time Android users. Instead, you double tap the home button to switch apps. Overall, it's easy to say that these two phones are without a shadow of a doubt the two best you can buy right now. And which one you buy really depends on you, as there's so little in it. And at the end of the day, HTC and Samsung have both delivered. The HTC One just takes it on looks, but whereas the S4 takes it on size and power. But can HTC withstand the might of Samsung and its huge marketing budget? Because that will be the deciding factor in this battle.